Spirit Digivolution, the form of Digivolution seen in Digimon Frontier. And while we do have, of course, a bunch of humans Spirit Digivolving, it's not technically uncommon for regular Digimon to Spirit Digivolve either. However, what did surprise me is how many Digimon have used these spirits from Digimon Frontier to become Spirit Digimon outside of, and even indeed in, Digimon Frontier. So much like we did with armor forms, on today's video, let's talk about a bunch of Digimon that you never knew could Spirit Digivolve. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video, and if it's not welcome back, hit that subscribe button. Big year for Digimon. Let's make it a big year for this channel. I would appreciate it. I need that 100k plaque to feel like I mean something. And yes, we're talking about Spirit Digivolution today, specifically Digimon that you just never knew could Spirit Digivolve, and also some other things. Now in this video, I am talking specifically about Digimon using the spirits, the human spirits or the beast spirits, to achieve Digivolution. This to me is distinct from times like, say, the Vital Bracelet, or indeed even the card game, where we've seen humans and Digimon assume spirit forms, but they didn't use the spirits to become them. Much like how in the armor video, I'm not going to count every Digimon that has ever Digivolved to an armor Digimon, because in a lot of instances, armor Digimon and spirit Digimon are treated more like conventional evolutions outside of kind of that Digimon Frontier specific lore. So if a random Digimon has randomly Digivolved to a spirit, that doesn't count. I'm specifically talking about instances where the physical spirit item was used. I'm also going to present this by Spirit Digimon, so like Agunimon, then Vritramon, and so on, rather than just a random list of assortment, because it's a little bit weird. So yes, beginning with Agunimon, well, the funniest thing is, in that the old card game, technically any level 4 or perfect Digimon could become Agunimon, using the human spirit of flame. Now this is obviously just a function of the card game, but it is very funny to think about, because that means that all champion, armor, and ultimate level Digimon can become Agunimon in that old card game, specifically Spirit Digivolving. But unlike armor Digivolution, this doesn't really contradict the lore of Frontier, as basically any Digimon could use a spirit, much like a human can use a spirit, to become that form. It does make little fun things happen though, like Greymon becoming Agunimon is possible. For more specific instances, we do actually have Agumon becoming Agunimon in Digital Monster D Project and Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, which is a ton of fun. Obviously Agunimon or Agnimon, its name is somewhat kind of building on that Agumon precedent. Most seasons of the Digimon anime in some way are calling back to Agumon. Vmon is like a blue Agumon. Guilmon is very much Takato's spin on the Agumon archetype. And then Agunimon, Agnimon, well, yeah, it's a fire guy with a name that has Ag or Agu in it. And then there's Data Squad, which really bucks the trend. I just think it's fun that there's a world where we could see Agumon actually use the human spirit of fire to become Agunimon. And interestingly, in D Project, Greymon could also become Agunimon, which I guess means that Greymon could do it either in the old card game or D Project. Win-win all around. Then an interesting addition from Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory is that Guilmon could also use the human spirit of flame to become Agunimon. This kind of makes me feel like Vmon's been left out a little bit, and sadly, even without the human spirit of flame, we've never seen Vmon become Agunimon. I guess technically you could make it work somehow in the card game. There are a couple of red Vmon cards in the current TCG, but yeah, wild. Moving over to Vritramon, the beast spirit, interestingly, only ultimate or perfect level Digimon can become Vritramon with the beast spirit of fire. I'm guessing this is because while beast and human spirits are generally treated to be on the same level, a level 4 in the card game, kind of a champion, beast spirits are usually stronger, approaching that more so of a ultimate or perfect level power level. But some really fun ones from Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory are Birdramon, Growlmon, and Meramon. Unfortunately, Greymon doesn't get to take part in this for some reason, but I really do see why the Digimon picked work. Birdramon, for example, Vritramon being a little bit more dragony and a little bit more, well, I guess it has bird-like flame wings. Does work when you combine that with Birdramon, you know, it's a very easy assist. Similar with Meramon, that burning core could believably be underneath the armor of Vritramon. And Growlmon, I guess, is just because Guilmon could use the human spirit. Really interesting that Greymon and Metal Greymon can't use it in Cyber Sleuth though. But an easy one to forget is that in Vritramon's debut, we did actually see a Digimon assume the form of Vritramon. Yes. In episode 11, the first user of the beast spirit of flame was not Takuya, but in fact a Shamamon. And this is such a cool concept, which I feel like people forget about Digimon Frontier, either because it's been a long time since we watched it, or some people just haven't watched it at all. But yeah, Takuya has to wrestle the Beast Spirit of Fire off Shamamon. And I think that's such a cool concept. I like the idea of maybe even though the forms would stay the same, and that's what this indicates, whatever Digimon is inside, it kind of affects like the power level, certain things about it. This is one that obviously if you watch Frontier, you do know, but I do think it's easy to forget that Shamamon did actually technically Spirit Evolve in that season. Alright, moving over to the Spirit of Light users, Wolfmon and Garummon, or as you might know them in the dub, Lobomon and Kendo Garummon. Much like with Agunimon, Wolfmon can also Spirit Digivolve with any adult or armor level Digimon and any ultimate level Digimon in the old card game, but in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory and Digital Monster D Project, so can specifically Gabumon. And indeed in D Project, so can Garummon, and man, this is really cool. While Garummon and Wolfmon are kind of on the same power level, that really cements that connection to the Garummon family via ancient Garummon. But also in Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, Kudamon 2006 can become Wolfmon, which is a little bit of an outlier. I don't fully understand that, but I think visually it makes sense. And so can Vmon, and this is really interesting, almost making Vmon's connection to the Crest of Friendship and Matt and Gabumon the kind of lead here, which is especially baffling given that Flamedramon is the only armor that isn't golden that you can actually become in Cyber Sleuth. If Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory is indicating that the Garummon side of Vmon is more easy to access via using the human spirit of light to become Wolfmon, why was Raidramon not included as an armor Digivolution given that Raidramon is using the Digi-Egg of Friendship and has a direct connection to Garummon? Weird one. As for Garummon, it is a similar situation to Vritramon where only ultimate or perfect level Digimon can Spirit Digivolve to it in the old card game. But then some really interesting additions for Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory are Chackmon, Sonlumon, and Eirias. This is a really interesting collection of Digimon. All bestial Digimon for sure, but all sharing very different traits. I would love to find some information on why these specifically were chosen, outside of just the fact that, like I say, they are bestial. Like I can see why Sonlumon could be a more beastly quadruped animal. It would kind of make sense for Garummon. There's a lot of gold on Garummon, so Eirias makes sense. And I guess the wolfish appearance of Chackmon or Chackmon could be seen as similar to Garummon. I guess if you took all three of these guys and put them in a blender, then maybe you would get Garummon, but anyway. Chackmon. This time, no ultimate levels. Only adult and armor Digimon can become Chackmon with the human spirit of ice. But two really interesting Digimon that can become Chackmon using that same spirit in Digital Monster D Project are Patamon and Angemon. And this may seem random at first, but actually it's a very on-the-nose reference to the fact that Tommy is basically the TK of the Frontier group, the youngest. Even though not literally a little brother to any of the Digidestined or Chosen Children of that season, he is very much treated like a little brother, and yeah, Tommy, TK, those are very similar archetypes, and that's why I believe Patamon and Angemon were chosen to be able to use the human spirit of ice in D Project. Blizzarmon, sadly, or Korikakumon as you might also know it, is way less interesting, only being able to do Spirit Digivolution from anything other than Tommy in the old card game from Champion, Armor, and Ultimate level Digimon. Obviously this does open us up to a bunch of interesting ideas, like Ikakumon could become Blizzarmon, or like if we take Digimon now and put them in the old card game, like Commandomon could become Blizzarmon, which is pretty cool. But yeah, a little bit disappointing to see that we haven't got any random outliers in things like Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Fairimon or Kazemon, again, any champion or armor can become her with the human spirit of wind in the old card game. But then, thanks to the card BO106T, any Digimon with the name Salamon can become her with that human spirit. So Salamon and Salamon X, or Plotmon and Plotmon X. You may see why these were picked, but the connection becomes cemented in Digital Monster D Project because Gatomon can also use the human spirit of wind to become Fairimon. This is a straight up reference to Kari. Well, I don't know why they picked Kari. In my opinion, the better matches to the wind spirits are either the Palmon line or the Biomon line, kind of fairies of Lilymon matching up well to Fairimon, and the bird elements of things like Biomon and Garudamon matching Shutumon better. I guess that more kind of like pinkish symbol that the spirit of wind has got going on in the creative team's minds lined up more to Kari. I don't know. I guess also you could say that Zoe would make a good pre-evolution for Angelwoman with the blonde hair. Moving over to Shutumon, it also once again can only be champion and armor Digimon that use the beast spirit of wind to become it in the old card game. But interestingly, now Wikimon counts this. I'm personally on the fence, but it is a compelling argument. In ST754 of the old card game, a card literally called Spirit Evolution, we see Hawkmon with the beast spirit of wind in the middle and then Shutumon on the right, implying that Hawkmon Spirit Digivolved to Shutumon. As with our Shamamon instance in Frontier itself, this would not be a crazy thing to happen, and I actually think makes a ton of sense. As I just said, Biomon, Sora's partner, and Palmon, Mimi's partner, are the two equivalents in my opinion between Adventure and Frontier, and Hawkmon, who armor digivolves into Halcymon and Shurimon, Agunimon, literally the essence of Biomon and Palmon, love and sincerity, Spirit Digivolving to Shutumon makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't know if I fully count this one as official Wikimon, but I like your thinking. Okay, Human Spirit of Thunder, Blitzmon. We're back in good territory with any champion armor or ultimate level being able to become it. Kabuterimon Spirit Digivolving would be Beast. And the other specific picks, like actually designated Digimon, are Wormmon and Stingmon in Digital Monster D Project, and Tentomon in BO109T. Tentomon, no-brainer. The Spirit of Thunder Digimon obviously linking most closely to the Tentomon evolution line in Adventure. While Ancient Beatmon is not Ancient Kabuterimon, it may as well be. And Wormmon and Stingmon, I just like the 0-2 connection there, they are bugs. And Stingmon has a very Kamen Rider-y appearance, which links up quite nicely to Blitzmon's, I'm never quite sure whether it's meant to be Metal Hero or Kamen Rider or whatever, but either way there's a Toku theme going on there. Sadly, Bolgmon only has the ability to Spirit Digivolve from Ultimate Level Digimon in the old card game, no other options for us there. Obviously in addition to being able to Spirit Digivolve from Blitzmon and JP, but moving into the evil spirits from Frontier, we do have some interesting stuff going on. First of all, Grottemon is not bucking the trend. It can Spirit Digivolve from any Ultimate Digimon in the old card game. Then thanks to BO11T, it can Spirit Digivolve from Gobblemon. Bit of a full circle moment there, given that Sharmamon became Vritramon in Frontier itself. And yeah, Gobblemon as a rookie for the Earth Spirits is a time-honored tradition, I believe, both in Digimon media and for us as fans. But one that I think is really fun and is not a Digimon is that in the Detective version 3, the evil spirits could Spirit Digivolve from designated chosen children from Frontier, and Grottemon could Spirit Digivolve from JP. I would have loved to have seen this in the show, man. We'll talk about it a little bit more as we progress through the rest of them, but what a missed opportunity. Gigasmon, very basic, also being able to Digivolve from any champion armor perfect level in the old card game, and JP on the D-scanner. Moving over to Abermon, yeah, we've got the ultimate level Digimon from the old card game. Mushmon, thanks to BO115T, which again kind of cements, at least at that point in time, Mushmon as being the Wood Spirit rookie, which makes a ton of sense given the fact that one of the very common evolutions for Mushmon is Woodmon. Doesn't get more direct than that. But then on that Detective version 3, Tommy would have been the child that would have Spirit Digivolved into Abermon and indeed Petaldramon. Really fun. Speaking of Petaldramon, yeah, same situation, just the ultimate level Digimon and Tommy. Then we've got Ranamon. Say it with me now. Any champion, any armor, any perfect in the old card game. But interestingly, they picked Chackmon and indeed Chackmon EX as a result to be rookie Digimon that can Spirit Digivolve to Ranamon with the Human Spirit of Water. I don't know how I feel about this pick for Ranamon. I personally at the time would have gone for something more like Otamamon. I don't think Chackmon is bad by any metric. And then yeah, of course it had to be the girl. Zoe becomes Ranamon with the Human Spirit of Water in the Detective version 3. She can also become Calamarimon on the version 3. And yeah, Calamarimon can also use that Beast Spirit of Water from any ultimate level Digimon in the old card game. Bringing it into landing, we have Mercurymon, any champion, any ultimate, any armor in the old card game. But then they picked Garummon and Garummon EX as the potential rookie for the Human Spirit of Steel. And that's really interesting to me. It is one that I've liked for Steel for a while, but not necessarily my favorite because we have a lot more modern Digimon, which I prefer. Obviously the Appmon Miramon being near perfect, but I do like Garummon here. It's a ton of fun. And I think this is really cool. Koichi can become Mercurymon and Sephirothmon on the Detective version 3. I guess they didn't want to give it to Koji for some reason, even though I would have. You know, Koji being light, steel and mirrors reflecting light, but Koichi works for me too. And Sephirothmon can go off any ultimate level Digimon in the old card game. Sadly, we don't really have a ton for Koichi's spirits though. I was really hoping we would have seen something interesting here, like maybe confirmation of Keramon for Duskmon, or maybe a Lylemon in the old card game for Loemon, but no. Any champion armor using the Human Spirit of Darkness can become Loemon, any ultimate can use the Beast Spirit of Darkness to become Kaiser Leomon, and similarly any champion armor or ultimate level can use the Corrupted Human Spirit to become Duskmon, with only ultimate level Digimon being able to use the Corrupted Beast Spirit of Darkness to become Velgamon. A little bit disappointed there. Would have liked to have seen something like a Biomon or another bird Digimon of the time being able to Spirit Digivolve into Velgamon. Hell, even Suberdramon would be really good. A black variant of Birdramon using the Corrupted Beast Spirit of Darkness to become Velgamon. That would have been sick. Missed opportunity. But oh well, that is it. Every Digimon that you never knew probably could use the spirits from Digimon Frontier to Spirit Digivolve. If you think I've missed one, let me know in the comments down below, but I would say remember, you're talking specifically about a Digimon or human using specifically the spirit item to Spirit Digivolve, not just any instance where a Digimon has digivolved into a Spirit Digimon. Thank you to my sovereign ZDK14 and everyone else who supports me over on patreon.com/Karn EX. I do appreciate you all very much. And to my channel members here on YouTube, you guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for watching. Some very cool things coming soon, I promise. And I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye-bye.